Your person sat in a car last night and confessed something that would break you. This message is being blocked. Archangel Michael says, a heavy silence filled the night when your person sat in that car. Their hands trembled on the steering wheel as words poured out, words they never wanted you to hear. Heaven witnessed every second of that moment, knowing it would change everything you believe. Archangel Michael says, this message is being blocked from reaching you because forces in the unseen world are trying to protect their own secrets. They do not want you to know what your person revealed last night. The truth is burning, waiting to break through, but it is wrapped in layers of darkness. Archangel Michael says, the angels are fighting to deliver this truth to you. They saw tears rolling down someone's face as they whispered your name in that car. The confession was not small. It carried weight that could shatter lies and expose hidden betrayals you never imagined. The car was parked under a dim street light. The engine turned off, but the air inside was thick with regret. Your person spoke to someone you know, someone you would not suspect, explaining how they made choices that hurt you deeply. They admitted something that heaven cannot allow to remain hidden forever. Tape men to get blessing. 333, they spoke of nights they couldn't sleep, haunted by what they did behind your back. They revealed how they had been manipulated by another soul who thrived on your pain. Every detail they shared in that car last night was like cutting open an old wound you never knew existed. This message is blocked because dark energy fears your reaction. If you hear the full truth, it will free you from chains they've tried to keep you in. Angels are stepping in, tearing through spiritual walls that are stopping this revelation from reaching you. Your person's voice cracked as they confessed. They said they couldn't live with themselves anymore without telling someone. The listener in that car was shocked, gripping the dashboard, realizing that everything you thought you knew was only a shadow of reality. Last night was not ordinary. It was a turning point. A decision was made inside that car. A decision that will soon touch your life like fire breaking through ice. Heaven saw it all and now tries to reach you. Even as this message faces resistance, type Amen to get blessing. For 44, as the clock struck midnight, whispers in the unseen realm grew louder. Archangels moved closer to protect you from incoming waves of pain that the enemy wanted to crush you with. Your guardian angel refused to let this secret stay buried any longer. The car's windows fogged as heavy breaths filled the space. A trembling hand reached for a phone but stopped, unable to call you yet. They feared your tears. Feared losing you completely, but they knew they had to release what had been killing them inside for months. Archangel Michael says, they mentioned moments you trusted them fully, moments they now admit they destroyed with lies. Someone else encouraged them to keep you blind while they benefited from your kindness. Last night, every hidden act began to surface in spoken words. The darkness that blocked this message is weakening. The truth is traveling fast toward you like a storm breaking the night sky. Once it lands, nothing will ever remain the same, but angels promise you strength when the breaking moment arrives. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The listener in that car wanted to record the confession but was too shaken. Their hands could barely hold anything as shocking details unfolded. They left that meeting knowing they held keys to your freedom, but also knowing others would try to silence them. This was not just a conversation. It was a release of guilt wrapped in despair. Heaven describes it as a spiritual earthquake, shaking lies loose from the enemy's grip. Each word your person spoke carried power to open your eyes to betrayal you never deserved. Archangel Michael says the message is not fully reaching you because someone nearby is intercepting it. They know that if you learn the full truth, you will walk away from manipulation and darkness. But angels are stronger and divine light is already piercing through. Your person sobbed in that car, whispering how they wished they could take it all back. They admitted they feared you would never forgive them if you knew. Yet heaven declares, you deserve the truth, not a life built on silent pain. Type Amen to get blessing. 666. When they drove away after that confession, they felt both relieved and terrified. Relieved because they finally said what had been buried. Terrified because heaven was watching and now divine justice is on its way. Archangel Michael says the next hours will be crucial. Hidden forces will try to push this message further away from you, but angels are stationed around you to deliver it soon. The truth cannot remain sealed because your destiny demands exposure of lies. The road they drove on last night carried the sound of tears hitting a leather seat. The person they confessed to could hardly breathe as the weight of it pressed down. This is why heaven stepped in. Because you deserve divine intervention more than ever. As dawn approached, the sky held a strange stillness. The confession was still echoing in the unseen realm, making demons tremble. What was said last night has started a chain reaction that even the darkest enemy cannot stop. Type Amen to get blessing. 777. Even now as you hear these words, resistance tries to cloud your mind, making you think this message is just coincidence. But heaven is deliberate. Every line is a call for your spirit to prepare. The unseen battle for truth is almost won. Your person's confession included names, places, and actions meant to stay buried forever. They revealed how certain people smiled in your face while plotting against you. This was not a single mistake. It was layers of deception that heaven refuses to ignore. Archangel Michael says, prepare for what's coming. The angels are aligning moments that will soon bring the full truth before you without warning. This is not meant to break you forever. It's meant to free you from a silent prison you never saw. Blessings are already surrounding you because you are strong enough to face this revelation. Heaven knows you can rise above betrayal and claim victory that the enemy never wanted you to have. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. This is only the beginning of the divine unraveling. The words spoken in that car last night are now charged with heavenly fire. Very soon, even those trying to block this message will be forced to reveal their hidden hands. Your person will not be able to hide behind masks anymore. The angels are stripping away illusions, pulling truth out into the open where you can finally see everything clearly. The time of shadows is ending and light is rushing in. Archangel Michael says, do not fear when the confession reaches your ears. Heaven will hold you steady, wrapping you in protection as you process every detail. This moment is divinely orchestrated to lead you into a new chapter of strength. You were never meant to live in darkness. This entire fight in the unseen world is to give you freedom, peace, and restoration that was stolen long ago. Type Amen to get blessing. 999. The car, the night, the whispered truths. None of it happened by accident. It was a divine setup to expose corruption and lead you to justice. What was meant to break you will become the very reason you rise higher than before. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven has heard every silent tear you shed without knowing why." Angels were sent to battle forces that tried to keep you blind. That fight is almost over and victory is yours to claim. Hold steady, because when the truth arrives, it will come with blessings far greater than the pain of betrayal. Heaven promises restoration, abundance, and unshakable joy in the aftermath of exposure. This is your divine warning and your promise. Trust the angels, for they are delivering the final message that darkness failed to block. Archangel Michael says, as that car drove further into the silent night, the energy around it shifted. Angels hovered above, watching closely, knowing that every word spoken would soon tear open a hidden story. The one sitting in that car was trembling, clutching their chest as they confessed secrets heavy enough to crush even the strongest hearts. Every minute inside that vehicle felt like an eternity. The sound of rain tapping against the windshield made it harder to hold back tears. The person listening could barely process what they were hearing. Dark truths, hidden betrayals, and plans made in secret without your knowledge. Last night, the confession reached a breaking point. The voice of your person cracked as they admitted things that would leave you speechless. Heaven describes it as a storm of truth, unstoppable and raw, finally spilling out after being locked away for too long. The angels saw them gripping the steering wheel so tightly that their knuckles turned white. They knew they were exposing themselves completely, risking everything they had built with you. Yet, they couldn't hold it in anymore. It had to be spoken, even if it shattered everything. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The darkness tried to drown out those words, hoping they'd never reach you. But Archangel Michael says, Heaven is pulling this truth out of the shadows piece by piece until you can see it fully. The chains that held back this confession are breaking under divine power. Your person spoke of moments you trusted them when you shouldn't have. They confessed how someone close whispered lies, steering them away from honesty and love. That car became the courtroom of their soul, where guilt poured out like fire. Archangel Michael says they admitted to actions that betrayed your loyalty. They revealed deals made behind your back, conversations meant to deceive you. Their voice trembled as they said they feared losing you forever when you find out. The listener sat frozen, unable to respond. Every detail felt like a dagger of truth cutting through illusions. Heaven captured that entire moment, preparing to bring it into your life, not to destroy you, but to awaken your strength. Type Amen to get blessing 222. When they finally turned the key and drove away, they weren't the same person anymore. The confession had left a mark on their soul that cannot be erased. The angels say, even now, they're shaking, wondering when you will discover what was revealed. The road they drove on seemed endless. Street lights flickered as if reacting to the weight of their words. Every mile took them closer to the realization that heaven will not allow this secret to stay buried much longer. Archangel Michael says, the forces trying to block this message are weakening. The truth is unstoppable, moving toward you like a divine wave. When it hits, no barrier, no lie, no manipulation will be able to stand against it. The car ride last night was not accidental. It was destined. Heaven orchestrated every detail so that the moment of truth could unfold. Now angels are preparing you to receive it with power and grace. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Even as you read this, unseen battles rage around you. Angels are cutting through spiritual walls meant to keep you in the dark. The enemy knows that once you learn this, their control over your life will collapse completely. Your person confessed more than just betrayal. They spoke of people you thought you could trust, revealing how they plotted, behind closed doors. This is deeper than you imagined, and heaven wants you ready for every revelation. Archangel Michael says, they cried in that car, wishing they could undo the damage. They whispered your name with regret that pierced through the night. That pain is now echoing in the heavens, demanding that truth finds its way to you. The angels promise that even when it hurts, they will not leave your side. You will not face this breaking moment alone. Divine hands will lift you, heal you, and turn your tears into unstoppable power. Type Amen to get blessing. For 44, the listener who heard the confession is torn. They carry the weight of what they know, unable to keep it much longer. Soon, a slip of the tongue or a sudden moment of courage will bring those words straight to you. Archangel Michael says, when this happens, do not fear. The message is blocked now, but heaven will rip through every barrier to deliver it. You were chosen to stand strong, to see the truth, and to rise above the ashes of betrayal. The car's dashboard lights flickered as the night swallowed their journey. They kept glancing at their phone, tempted to call you, but too consumed by shame. Heaven says that call is coming. It will happen when the divine timing is perfect. As the sun began to rise, angels gathered around your home. They know a storm of truth is approaching and they are fortifying your spirit. You are protected, guided, and loved beyond measure. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Even now those who try to hide this from you feel restless. They sense that the secret is slipping away from their control. The truth they feared is now in motion, driven by divine will that no human hand can stop. Archangel Michael says you will see signs leading up to this revelation. Strange encounters, unusual dreams, and unexpected messages will guide you. Trust them, for they are heaven's way of preparing your heart. The confession last night was the spark. What follows will be a blazing fire of revelation, consuming every shadow of deception. Nothing can hide when the light of truth shines this bright. This is your turning point. What once was hidden will be exposed. And from that moment on, your life will never be the same. Archangel Michael says, as dawn broke after that long night, the earth itself felt heavy with secrets. The confession made in that car began spreading like a silent ripple through the unseen realm. Angels whispered to one another, preparing for the moment when nothing could stop this truth from reaching you. The one who heard that confession drove home in silence, their heart pounding in disbelief. They knew what they had heard would devastate you. Yet they also knew it was not their burden to keep forever. Heaven was already stirring, commanding that the words spoken last night find their way to you in divine timing. The car where your person sat is more than just metal and wheels. It has now become a vessel carrying a story that darkness cannot keep hidden. The steering wheel still holds the imprint of trembling hands. The seats still echo the sound of tears. Archangel Michael says they admitted every plan, every alliance formed behind your back. Someone who once smiled in your presence has been pulling strings, manipulating your person into actions that wounded your soul. That confession named names that heaven will soon reveal. Type Amen to get blessing. 666. After the confession, your person sat for a long time without moving. They stared at the rear view mirror as if they could see their own guilt staring back. Angels surrounded that car, knowing a great storm of truth was being born. The listener who carried every word in silence felt overwhelmed. They knew that by sunrise their own life would change forever because they now hold the bridge between lies and truth. They cannot unhear what was spoken. Archangel Michael says, forces of darkness are scrambling to erase what was said. They want to twist memories, bury evidence, and silence those who know. But angels are moving faster, cutting through every attempt to hide. Every confession last night was recorded in the heavens. Divine justice is already at work, aligning events so that you will face the truth, not as a victim, but as a conqueror who will rise above betrayal. Type Amen to get blessing. 777 hours later, your person couldn't sleep. They replayed every word they spoke in that car, terrified of how you'll react. Heaven describes their soul as a burning fire of guilt, knowing that the mask they've worn for so long is about to fall. The listener woke up with shaking hands, unable to keep food down. They felt as if angels were pressing on their heart, urging them to do what's right when the moment arrives. They know silence cannot hold forever. Archangel Michael says, even as this message is blocked now, signs are coming to warn you. A sudden phone call, a misplaced note, or a slip of the tongue will soon crack open the wall that darkness built around this secret. You will not have to search for the truth. It will find you. Heaven has promised to place it directly in your path when you least expect it, but exactly when you need it most. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. Your guardian angel has been standing by your side since last night, watching over you while unseen forces battle to keep you blind. Their sword of light has already struck down plots designed to silence the one who knows everything. The car that carried this confession now feels like a haunted place to your person. They cannot sit inside it without remembering the words they spoke. The shame that poured out. Heaven is using that memory to break them down, preparing them to face you with honesty. Archangel Michael says, your destiny is too great to be built on lies. That is why the angels have intervened. Why? This truth is coming. No matter how many blockages are set in place, you were chosen for more than betrayal. You were chosen for divine victory. Soon events will unfold rapidly. You will notice strange tension in the air, unexplained glances, and sudden changes in behavior. These are signs that the confession is pushing its way toward the surface. Type Amen to get blessing. 999. The listener who has remained silent is now surrounded by angelic presence. They feel a heaviness in their spirit knowing they cannot carry this burden much longer. Heaven has placed a fire inside them that will make them speak when the appointed time comes. Your person has started writing messages they want to send to you, but deletes them before hitting send. They are terrified of losing you, yet, they know heaven will not let them hide anymore. The walls are closing in. Archangel Michael says, no matter what darkness tries, this message cannot be buried. The confession that happened last night was the first crack in a massive wall of deception that has surrounded you for far too long. That wall is collapsing. When the final moment arrives, truth will crash into your life like thunder. The breaking will be painful, but it will also be liberating. From that moment, no chain, no lie, no betrayal will ever hold you again. Archangel Michael says, after that night's confession, a storm began to rise in the spiritual realm. The energy of what was spoken did not stay in that car. It traveled like lightning through unseen pathways, reaching angels who had long awaited this moment of exposure. The person listening could not sleep. They tossed and turned, hearing the trembling voice again and again, unable to escape the truth they now carried. Heaven whispered to them in dreams, telling them that what they heard was not theirs to hide forever. Your person's spirit feels fractured since last night. They went to bed with swollen eyes, heart racing, knowing that the words they released cannot be taken back. The angels describe their soul as standing on the edge of a cliff, facing consequences they cannot outrun. The darkness tried to send confusion, to twist memories, to make them doubt what was said. But Archangel Michael says, heaven has already sealed the confession with divine power. No demon, no manipulator, no whisper of fear can erase it. Now type Amen to get blessing. 11:11, morning came, but it brought no peace. Your person drove the same car again. Hands shaking on the wheel, terrified of seeing you, yet longing to confess everything to you directly. Heaven says this battle in their heart is only the beginning. The listener woke up to a strange light in their room, a sign that angels were present. They felt a pull toward you, a strong urge to reveal what was spoken. Yet, they hesitated, knowing how much it would hurt you to hear the full truth. Archangel Michael says, this is not a coincidence. Divine forces are pushing this truth closer to you, breaking barriers set by those who wanted you blind. Each hour, the confession inches closer to reaching your ears. Even now someone is trying to intercept, trying to silence, trying to control the narrative before you know everything. But heaven has already decided this truth cannot stay hidden much longer. Type Amen to get blessing. 12:12, your person avoided your calls today. They could not face you knowing that heaven has witnessed their darkest moments. Their silence is not ignorance. It is fear of the divine light that is about to expose everything. The listener felt their hands tremble when they saw your name flash on their phone. They wanted to speak, but darkness whispered lies of fear holding them back. Still, angels are standing behind them, whispering courage into their soul. Archangel Michael says, divine timing is near. A sudden moment will break their silence. The words you've been shielded from will spill out uncontrollably, releasing the chains of deception that have held you for so long. In that moment, heaven's presence will be undeniable. You will feel it in your spirit as though light itself is entering the room, washing away every shadow that tried to keep you trapped. Type Amen to get blessing. 1313 Your guardian angel has been walking before you, ensuring that when the truth arrives, it does not crush you, but empowers you. Every heartbreak, every tear you've shed in confusion will transform into divine strength. Your person is now seeing signs they cannot ignore. Broken sleep, strange visions, flashes of your face in moments of silence. These are heaven's warnings, reminders that they must face what they confessed. Archangel Michael says, "The one who listened will soon meet you, guided by angels. The weight they carry is too heavy to keep in darkness. The divine will use their voice to bring healing." Even though at first feels like breaking, this confession is not just words. It is a divine turning point. It will unravel false connections, reveal hidden enemies, and set you free from paths you were never meant to walk. Type Amen to get blessing. 1414 As night falls again, angels surround the same car where the confession was made. They have marked it as the vehicle of truth, a witness to heaven's intervention. Every time your person steps inside, they are reminded of what they admitted. The listener is having visions now. Dreams where angels show them the consequences of silence. They are waking up in sweat, heart pounding, knowing they cannot run from divine instruction. Archangel Michael says, "You are closer than ever to the moment of revelation." Chains that have held secrets in darkness are snapping one by one. The final break is coming and nothing on earth can stop it. When this moment arrives, even those who plotted against you will be exposed. Names will surface, schemes will crumble, and the web of lies will collapse under the weight of divine justice. Type Amen to get blessing. 1515 Your destiny is bigger than this betrayal. Heaven is using this painful truth to push you into a new chapter of strength and purpose. What once was stolen from you will be returned a hundredfold. Your person will not escape divine judgment. Angels are already at work rearranging events to ensure that you receive not only truth but also restoration of everything meant for you. Archangel Michael says, "The time of silence is ending. Prepare yourself for the unveiling that will shake the ground beneath every lie. Heaven has declared it, and it will not be reversed. In the end, you will stand tall, crowned in divine victory. Every tear, every night of confusion, every betrayal will be transformed into unshakable power and divine blessing." Type Amen to get blessing. 1616 Archangel Michael says, as the second night approached, heaven stirred again. The same car that held the breaking moment last night became restless, almost alive with the memory of truth it carried. Every time your person sat inside, they felt the echo of their own words haunting them. They tried to drive away from it, but the road seemed endless. Street lights flickered as if whispering the same warning over and over. You cannot run from what heaven has already seen. The night air grew thick with tension, as though angels were breathing down on the vehicle, pushing the confession toward the surface. The listener was restless, too. They walked their room in circles, pacing, until dawn. Every whisper of the wind reminded them of your face. Of how much pain you had been kept in without knowing. Heaven had placed a weight on their soul heavier than chains, a divine command that silence would soon be shattered. Archangel Michael says, even as darkness scrambles to hide this truth, the angels are aligning a perfect moment where no human, no force, no manipulator will be able to stop it. The word spoken in that car last night will soon be shouted by heaven itself through undeniable signs. Type Amen to get blessing. 1717. Your person cannot find peace. They reach for their phone, type messages to you, delete them, and start again. They want to confess but dread the pain it will cause. Yet heaven has already declared that this must happen. It is not their choice anymore.